What up, boys? Alright, we're back with our 2021 YZ250F. Good to 2019 to 2023. We're going to be taking the crank out. I don't know if the last video, if you watched it or not, but we took our cam here, our drum cam, off with a impact. And it's kind of stuck right now, but we're gonna see if maybe splitting the cases or taking the cases apart, because when we hit it with the impact, the cases actually did split. So she came apart pretty easy, which I guess is a good thing. We're probably still gonna have to pull out one of the or the other side of the crank here, but we're gonna see if it destroyed any of the shifting parts in there. See if it blew anything up. I can see him shifting, but it doesn't look like anything broke. Anyway, let's check it out. We got most of everything that we can get off. So we're just gonna go ahead and try to keep everything on one side. Here's that this side's coming off. We're gonna have some spacers and stuff here probably. It's interesting. So we've got a long dowel for some kind of tensioner, I'm guessing. It's definitely for the shift shaft. It's got a spring, I think, going all the way through it possibly. I don't see any washers that's stuck to our case here. Looks like all these are actually going to be held in, so you don't have to expect one of these bearings to come with. That's pretty nice. All these are locked in. We're not going to be messing with that because we're going to be selling this separately. From what I see, all the bearings feel good. I don't think we did any kind of damage using the impact, but you do see this dowel right there. I believe that's what came loose maybe, and that's why it wasn't connecting and shifting. It was just this free spinning. If you watch the other video, you could find that out or see what happened. We're just gonna punch this out and hope that it comes out easy. We're gonna be hitting it on the outer race. Actually, there's no really choice to hit it from the outer race. So we are gonna go the side that is a little bit more protruded, and I think that's pretty straight now. For some reason it got kinked when I was trying to take it out in the first video. Let's see if we got any damage. Looks pretty good. I don't see any nicks or anything like that from taking it off the rough way. So we'll go ahead and throw that in the bag. This is the cam, the drum cam. Set that over here by all our other parts. And since we're done with this case half, we're just going to set it aside and list it. I think it's already listed as a set. I definitely recommend buying any case that you need in a set. Like if you were going to buy, if you needed a new left side crankcase, I would buy the set together if you can, because they do cast these as a whole and then cut them. So you want to make sure they're the same, and that's an easy way to do it. I mean, you should be pretty good no matter what, but alright, I don't see, we'll take the transmission out, but as far as pieces, I don't see anything that flew out or anything, no damage. So we appear to be in the clear as far as that goes. We'll just set it here and see if anything comes out, see if we can get this crank to come out. Doesn't appear to want to come. Maybe with some persuasion. We had one shift fork come off, so if you hold it sideways, prepare for that. We might as well just take the transmission. So we'll go ahead and put the fork back. We assume it went on the side. Oh, the whole dowel came out, it would appear. Oh, the dowel is, So this is the shift fork dowel right here. This is what holds your shift fork. For some reason it came with this side of the case. I don't know if that's gonna be a typical thing. No, it came right loose. So I don't know. Just remember which side came out which. So I try to keep them directional. We know that it came out that way. It looks like they're both shaved off on the ends, so I don't know. It might not matter, but the spring tension might be different on each side. I don't know. So we'll just keep it like it is. Set it aside. And then now we know that these shift forks are loose. We'll go ahead and pull the other dowel. So the same thing. I don't know. They appear to be the same length. Maybe say it in the comments if anybody does know if this matters which way you put it in. If you're installing it, we're not going to be putting everything back together. Like I said, we just sell parts, so really don't do too much installations or too many reassembly videos. So we'll lift up this one fork, or just get it out of the way if you can. Then we'll pull our drum. Pretty easy to see which way that goes. This is a smaller diameter and this is a wider diameter, so you could just throw this in a bag and rest assured that when you reinstall it, it will be correct. Set that over there. So we have our single fork shaft. We're going to keep these together. Not for any reason really, just other than we're kind of out of bags right now. So we'll keep that right there. And we'll put these two forks together. This is the lower and that's the upper. Looks like it's gonna be, yeah. It'll be easier to mark it as you take it apart, because I would say these are gonna be facing the top. I guess the L and the R will be facing the clutch side. So the L and the R are gonna be, it's actually easy to tell because of the, well, yeah, it's pretty easy to tell because of the spurs. Hopefully I go through this and take this out so I don't look too bad. But I'm not really much of an editor, so we'll probably just leave it in. Don't really have a bag to stick these in. One second, I'm just gonna grab a bag. Alright, we got another box. Boom. So we'll keep these together. You know what? We'll take out that shift shaft. We'll just go ahead and throw it in there anyway. We will put it in the correct orientation. So the L and the R that way. It was going through, so it's going to be like this. And we'll go ahead and stick that in the bag. Hopefully with the video and now experience, I'll remember which way that goes. Okay, so we got our transmission here, which should be pretty loose. Just want to take them both at the same time. Yeah, just give it a little nudge on the whatever surface you're on, and it should just come right out. know if I'm getting both with it. I'm trying. Yeah, there we go. And I don't see any thrust washers. Appears to just be, no, maybe there's one right there. I'm not sure. Anyway, we'll set it aside for now. I don't want to make this video too long. It's not really about transmissions. So now we're down to our balance shaft that is right here. Looks like it comes out from the middle. Go ahead and throw that. Looks like there's not too many ways to mess that up. As far as orientation. So I feel like this moved just a second ago, but I could be wrong. We're going to take our rubber mallet and just give it a little tap. Might have to pull it down. It doesn't appear to be moving. We don't want to damage it. Yeah, I don't see it moving. Shoot. Is it? I don't know. Just lost the oh, it's a spacer, dowel pin. We got one here, looks like. Alright, well, I guess I'll just push this out. I'm using, might as well do it, right? If you've already seen a crankshaft get pushed out, I guess you could stop the video now. But if you want to watch how you use a crank pusher, I guess you'll call it, just watch for a couple of seconds here, and we'll get it out. I'm gonna bring it to the size, and make sure you get a good triangle. Something like that should work. And then we got 3 tiny little pins that are on average just going to be left like so. You just leave them like that. You don't really ever need to take those bolts off, because you just screw them in like this, and then you're just going to be tightening. And you want to make sure they do go in kind of deep, so you don't mess anything up here. Something like that. Make sure it's nice and flush. If you have a gasket on here still, make sure you remove that before you do all this. So for this, it's a 10mm. I'm just going to hand tighten them first, and then grab the 10 from in here, which is this tiny little guy. You really don't need to tighten it too much. Make sure this is back down all the way and not contact with the crank just yet. So we'll just tighten those down a bit, nice and snug. Alright, and then we'll just push this in by hand for now. Find a good way to hold this as we push it out, which I don't know if there will be. We'll just hold it by our hand. I believe it's a 19? No, 17? 17, and it's the big gun. Alright, so we will start pushing. You know what? Actually, we're going to back it off and correct this real quick. We're going to have to center it pretty good. That's something I kind of slopped on right here. Good thing we caught it before. So I'm just going to show you what I did. So as you see right here, it's not really even. You want to make sure this punch is almost directly in line with this crankshaft right there. So we're just going to want to move it over like something like that, you know, and then a little bit up. It's going to be hard for you guys to see it, but I'll make sure it's lined up, something like that, and then tighten it down, and we'll go back. Be right back. Alright, now we're back to where we were, and it's all lined up. So we'll screw this in by hand first. Make sure we're on tightening, and we'll start pushing. I would recommend just holding the rod right here, if possible. If not, you don't need to. Feels like she's loose now. And there she is. And that'll do it. We're gonna take these off, and might as well just do it right here, huh? And I'll show you why you really never take these off. So now that they're loose, you just unscrew them by hand. Like so. Alright, sorry. Normally it's a little bit easier, I think, than that. So there's our crank, there's our case. Stick this down here. It's easier to store it in pieces. Those three are pretty easy to recognize, those three little pins. So we got one dowel that came out again. Looks like it just doesn't like to stay. This side. So bearing feels good. The balancer bearing feels good. Our cam bearing good. Our shift shaft and our transmission output bearing is not. Oh yeah, there it goes. Yeah, that's our output. Okay, so yeah, looks like pretty good shape. Florida Bike Supply, eBay, check us out. I guess this is where you could pull your shift shaft out, or your actuator rod. I don't know exactly what the name off the top, but there's your little pin bearing in there, also the seal. You need a reverse bearing puller if you want to take that out. Most of these are all locked in also. Anyway, looks like pretty good shape. Like, subscribe. Good thing it didn't mess anything up when we took it off with the impact. It just loosened up that dowel, which I'm not used to, because normally the case stays together, and then you have to kind of split it with that same tool that we were using. Alright, so transmission crank, crankcase, like, subscribe. Check us out on the next one. Peace.